What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Daily Dose, and this past weekend was New York Comic Con, and man, did they drop the trailers upon trailers upon trailers. So many films and shows drop trailers for their upcoming stuff, and we are totally going to talk about some of my favorites here on the Daily Dose. So let's get into it! The first one up, and it might be the biggest one of the weekend, was freaking Power Rangers. I literally tweeted that, can we stop getting stills of this movie? I need a damn trailer already. Anyways, I said that, and hours later they actually dropped the trailer, and I have to say I'm kind of sort of disappointed with it. Now, to be honest, I have no idea what I expected from this movie, but I wanted to see something that was like, you know how when you saw the Netflix shows for the first time for Marvel, you were like, what? But you thought it was going to be something more along the lines of freaking the MCU movies? Sorry, I had to burp. I was kind of hoping that the Power Rangers was going to be dark-toned like the MCU kind of stuff. Now, of course, they're not the same company or anything, but I was kind of thinking it was going to be like that, but with the same, like, elements of Power Rangers, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be freaking awesome. Now, you kind of get that feel with this trailer, but as I was watching this trailer, I felt like it was a sequel to The Breakfast Club, and they were just going to get superpowers. I don't know about you guys, but when I watch a movie, freaking bad acting and dialogue just ruins it for me. Now, of course, I do have some movies out there that are terrible acting and writing, but I still love them. But when it comes to something like Power Rangers or something that I want to be like amazingly awesome and it has just terrible dialogue or acting, it kills me a little bit, especially when Power Rangers was a huge part of my freaking childhood. I mean, if I had a picture of it somewhere, I don't, but I freaking had my mom make me this badass Green Ranger costume where she had somebody made it for me, and I was the shit, man. I looked awesome. I need to find a picture of that so I can hang it up somewhere. I freaking loved Power Rangers growing up, and I had like all the toys, you know. Anyway, so this movie, I want it to be great. So I'm hoping that it'll be awesome, but just from the dialogue and the acting, I'm gonna say the acting might not be too bad. It's just the dialogue is so, it hurts my heart that, in this trailer, I was like, wow, this sucks. Not gonna lie, I will more than likely go watch this movie in theaters if I don't get like some type of screening first. But did you guys see the freaking fan-made Power Rangers trailer that came out like last year or a couple years ago? I'm not too sure when it came out exactly. That freaking trailer was badass because it was like an R-rated Power Rangers, and I was like, what? If we would have got that Power Rangers storyline, oh my gosh, I would lose my shit. Just go watch that short Power Rangers fan-made film, and it is awesome because the Power Rangers are grown up, they're more adult, it is more adult theme, it's more violence, like that is like what you would get on Netflix. If Netflix had a freaking Power Rangers series, it would be that fan-made trailer. Go watch that if you haven't seen it with your eye holes yet. Moving on to the next movie trailer, and I will have to say that this was my favorite trailer of the weekend, and that is John Wick Chapter 2. If you guys have not seen the first John Wick, what the hell are you doing with your lives? It is one of the most underrated action movies of all time. That movie is so badass. Keanu Reeves is great. I mean, you think he was the one in freaking Matrix? Oh, hell no. He is the one in John Wick. John Wick is so badass. And when I heard they were making John Wick 2, I was all like, yes, do it. Because damn, I cannot get enough of John Wick. The freaking action in that movie is so badass. It is no holds barred, just shots in the face and badassery, and it's just, oh my god, I cannot wait. And when I saw this freaking trailer for John Wick Chapter 2, I just got all happy in my pants. Go watch John Wick to know the excitement of why John Wick 2 is going to be so awesome. It's just the storyline was good. It was everything about it. And if you are a nerd fanboy and you loved Civil War, freaking Captain America Civil War is what I'm talking about, and you thought their action was really badass, you can thank John Wick, because from my understanding, they hired the stunt coordinators from John Wick to work on Civil War, and that is why some of those action sequences were so badass. It's because of John Wick. I'm telling you, do yourself a favor and go watch that movie if you haven't, because it's awesome. Speaking of Keanu Reeves being the one in the Matrix, at the end of John Wick 2's trailer, you see motherfucking Morpheus. That is right, people. motherfucking Morpheus is in John Wick 2, because you want to know why? I bet you John Wick 3, it's freaking John Wick Return to the Matrix. Whoa, I was just making a joke about freaking John Wick and the Matrix being connected, but what if freaking John Wick 3 was actually like connected to the Matrix somehow, and freaking Neo was just caught inside the Matrix, like he got put back into the Matrix somehow, and he was just John Wick, and they're gonna bring him back out of the Matrix because they need him. What? Give me millions of dollars, Hollywood. I'll write that script right now. The next trailer is something I told you guys about in a previous Daily Dose, and it was about this comic called The Valiant and how they were working, the company The Valiant was working with The Bat and the Sun, those awesome YouTubers that make those superhero fights that are all cinematic and badass. Well, that they were working on a secret project that was going to be a web series that involved one of the Valiant characters, and they finally released the trailers and the details about this, and it looks awesome. The web series is going to be called Ninjak versus the Valiant universe, and that makes it pretty interesting because what I've read from the comic, I'm not really big into the series yet, but from the one comic I read, all of these characters seem to be on the same side, but in this web series, it's going to be one character versus all of them. At least that's how the freaking trailer makes it seem. Go watch it for yourself and let me know if you think different. But it seems like Ninjak is going to fight all of the freaking Valiant universe, which I'm totally stoked for because they have some badass characters. So I'm really excited for this because it's going to be a web series, so it's not something like you're going to see like with blockbuster budgets, but from what they have, it looks pretty awesome. Like, it's gonna be, you know, it's very much Bat in the Sun feel, but it's gonna be a web series. You know, there's gonna be dialogue, there's gonna be all this other stuff. It's not gonna just be pure fighting all the time. So I'm really excited about this. Go watch the previous video I talked about. There's a lot of like big name actors that are going to be in this. Not big name actors, but a lot of people that have been in other projects before. Mainly Ninjak is freaking Deathshot from the Arrow series, and the Suicide Squad, you know, part of season 1 and 2, freaking Deadshot is Ninjak. So it's the same actor, I think his name is Michael Rowe. So they're putting a lot into this web series. It looks amazing. Like I said, go check out the trailer for yourself. And freaking Bloodshot, who's this guy right here, that is Jason David Frank, baby, Green Ranger from the old school Power Rangers of my childhood. I'll watch it. I'm totally sold on this, and I can't wait for it to come out. From one comic book universe to the next, we're jumping from the Valiant universe to the MCU because the next trailer is of Iron Fist. We finally got an Iron Fist teaser. Now, I should say that I'm actually in the process of watching Luke Cage right now, so I haven't finished it. Don't give me any damn spoilers, because if you don't, you know, I don't want no spoilers. Who wants spoilers, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Iron Fist shows up in Luke Cage or not, because I haven't finished it. I will say this, I had this conversation with my friends not too long ago, that I was more excited to watch Iron Fist than I was Luke Cage, because I'm kind of getting tired of the dark tone. Not that I don't enjoy it, like I love the Netflix series. What I've seen of Luke Cage so far I think is amazing, but I want a difference, like, because everything is just dark, 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 which I like, I have no problem with, but it's just like the same, like, very real, very dark, very serious tone. But I felt like Iron Fist is going to be different because it has to do with magic, so there's going to be a little bit different style in there, and so that's why I'm pretty pumped to see this. And then they dropped the trailer this weekend, and I watched it, and I'm all like, hell yes, that looks badass. And it's just, I'm really pumped for Iron Fist because it looks awesome. And this trailer gives us confirmation that there is going to be a hallway fight scene, because every Netflix series has a hallway fight scene, because hallway fight scenes are just the fucking best. But seriously though, I am really pumped for this Iron Fist show because, like I said, I just want something a little different. Freaking Luke Cage, Daredevil, Jessica Jones were all badass, but they all have the very same kind of elements, you know? But Iron Fist is going to be dealing with something very different. So I'm really excited to watch that, and then of course the Defenders is going to come out, and that is going to be badass too. So, perfect segue to go. This doesn't have anything to do with trailers. In a panel for the Defenders, it was announced that Sigourney Weaver is going to be the main villain for the Defenders series, and it's just like, holy shit. Sigourney Weaver in the MCU, she is one bad bitch. Sigourney Weaver kills it in any role she's been in, and she's been in like some of the best franchises of all time. So it only makes sense that she is in the damn MCU. So I'm really excited for the Defenders. I want to see what's going to happen, how crazy she's going to be, or how badass she's going to be, because she's a freaking badass. So that is awesome. So we're gonna get Iron Fist. We got the Iron Fist trailer this weekend. We got the release date for it. And now the Defenders is gonna have freaking Sigourney Weaver as the main villain. That is better! Before we leave the MCU, another bit of information came out this weekend, and that was that the Wasp will be in Avengers 4, which is going to be more than likely titled something like New Avengers, because the Russo brothers have said that it's not going to be Infinity Part 1 and Part 2 anymore. It's going to be, you know, Avengers Infinity War for the first movie, and the second movie is going to be something very different. A lot of people feel it's going to be New Avengers, which would make perfect sense to bring in the Wasp on this new one, because it's going to be a whole bunch of Avengers we haven't seen before, and they will more than likely be saving the rest of the Avengers, because I feel like they're going to get their ass kicked, or they're all gonna die in freaking Avengers Infinity War, or something's gonna happen that these new Avengers are gonna have to go ahead and replace stuff. So they need a whole new team, which is gonna be Spider-Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, all the newbies basically to the MCU, adding the Wasp in there, because we're not gonna get Ant-Man 2 before freaking Avengers Infinity War Part 2, so I'm freaking thinking this is a perfect way for them to bring in the Wasp, and then of course you'll have her in Ant-Man 2 whenever that happens. So yeah, I just want to throw that in there too. They have confirmed that the Wasp will be in the freaking 4th Avengers movie. Let's go ahead and jump over to the zombie genre of comics and movie world, because a new trailer has came out for the Resident Evil final Resident Evil movie. And this is what the trailer looks like. I don't know about you guys. I'm just including this in the Daily Dose because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys like these Resident Evil movies. I do not like them at all. This trailer does not excite me at all. Because I grew up on the Resident Evil games and I know, oh, why are you being such a purist, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think these movies are interesting, and I don't think they're good personally, but I figured I'd include it because it was another trailer that dropped, and this is going to be the final one of the series, and I'm kind of hoping that after a few years they will reboot this series and go and follow the games a bit more, because the games had great storylines and they had great characters, and I know these Resident Evil movies tried to include some of those characters, but trust me, I would love to see a freaking movie based in the damn mansion of the first Resident Evil game, because that game was awesome. That was the first game I ever played on PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1, kids! You guys have probably never even seen it. You've probably only heard of PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. Oh no! There was PlayStation 1 and 2 before all of that came about, alright? And I played Resident Evil 1 on that, and when I heard there was going to be a Resident Evil movie, I was like, oh shit, I hope it's like the game. It was nothing like the game, and I hated that movie, and I've hated this franchise ever since, because that storyline was epic, and I want to see that shit on the big screen. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you like these Resident Evil movies, if you know, you care for them, you don't, doesn't really matter, to me, doesn't matter. I just wanted to give my opinion on this series, because it's the last one. I'm glad it's going to be over, and I hope they reboot it in a couple of years and try to follow the games a bit more. But now let's go to a freaking show about zombies that I give all the fucks about, and that is The Walking Dead. At New York Comic Con, they released a sneak peek to the season premiere of Season 7, and oh my gosh, it has me so pumped. I know a lot of you might have been pissed at the cliffhanger that happened at the end of Season 6, and you're just like, who's it gonna be? I, as a writer, as somebody that loves cliffhangers, and you know, they get me infuriated, like, I'm like, no! I will say, did we not talk about that all summer? Who died? So it actually is perfect, because they did exactly what they wanted, and they got us talking about it all freaking summer long, or however long it's been gone since Season 6. We've been talking about this crap, and I'm super pumped, and man, just go watch this sneak peek, because it is of Negan talking to freaking Rick, and Rick just tells him flat out, he's like, I'm gonna kill you. It won't be today, it won't be tomorrow, but someday, I'm gonna kill you. Because you know, Rick's a fucking badass, and they just beat the shit out of one, maybe two of his freaking members, and he's still telling this badass guy that has an army around him that I'm gonna kill you someday. Not today, not tomorrow, but I'm gonna kill you. You know how badass you need to be to fucking tell a guy that beat the shit out of some of your family members in your face that you're still gonna kill him? Fucking Rick is crazy! And I cannot wait for the freaking Walking Dead to come back because it is gonna be so badass and I'm so pumped for it, and you know you're gonna get freaking reviews on this channel because I love that show, and I've been that is the first show that I have ever followed since season 1, episode 1. I mean, I do that now for a bunch of shows, but before I got into just like binge watching shows and doing all that shit, The Walking Dead was the first show ever that I saw from episode 1, and I've been watching every single Sunday since because it's such a good show and I love it. And I don't care what people say, I fucking love The Walking Dead and I can't wait for it to come back. Go see that sneak peek because, man, it'll get you pumped if you love the show. And you know, I want to know who you think died at the end of season 6. I think it's going to be 2 people, and I think it's Glenn and Abraham. Both of those suckers, I think, are dead. And I'm hoping Maggie's going to be so distraught, and she's going to be like, I need to call JUICEbox because I love him. I'll be like, I love you too, Maggie. Are you going to be the Joker in the DCEU? Because I wouldn't mind dating you too, even if you are the Joker, because you're so sexy, girl. In all seriousness, Lauren Cohan, if you're actually watching this video for some reason, I think you are super gorgeous and I love you and I hope you stay on the show forever because you're a badass woman. Anyways, guys, like I said, let me know who you think died and how awesome and sexy is Lauren Cohan in freaking The Walking Dead. And any of these other trailers. Are you excited for Resident Evil? What do you think about the Power Rangers? Are you excited for Iron Fist? Let me know all of your thoughts and freaking opinions and whatever in the comment section down below about all these videos. You know what I'm talking about? Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, guys, I'm your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. If I have my daily dose of juice, see you guys next time. Bye!